All right. Hi, beloveds. Ooh, so happy to see you all. I'm just navigating a couple of technical things. I'll be with you momentarily. Thank you for your patience while I figure out what is happening over here. Yeah, something's being weird, but that's okay. Be with you in just a moment. Okay. All right. I'm here. How's our sound? How's our picture? How is everything in our world of connection today? Okay, great. Mm, awesome. So happy to be with you all, be together. Excuse me. Again, if you are not here on Insight Timer, I warmly invite you to join us on Insight Timer. It's a free app, and this is where you can be part of our community experience. I will not see your comments if you're not on Insight Timer. Hello, Michelle and John and Ebony and Lou and Rihanna and Natasha and Angela, Camille, Rosita, Reka, Angela again. Oh, that's Angela. Michelle, Maria, uh, Bardia. So happy to see you all. Welcome. Feel free to say hi in the chat if you haven't said hi already. Great. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for being alive. Yes, Angela. Thank you. For anyone who I am getting to meet today for the first time, my name is Selena. These sessions are a place for us to be together in community, to practice greater self awareness, kindness with ourselves, with each other, with the world, to have conversations that guide us deeper into an experience of ourselves and greater freedom, greater joy, greater aliveness. And Camille is sharing, thank you for having this space for us. And my love, I would also say thank you because it is all of us coming together that create this space. Yes. It's all of our collective intentions and hearts and lights that create it. So thank you to each of you for choosing to be here and be part of what makes this space so beautiful. Mm. It's raining today. I can hear the sound of the rain. It's very soothing for my system. It's been raining a lot here. Rain is so cleansing, such a gift. Mm. What is she doing? Is there something wrong with her connection? Why isn't she saying anything? What's happening? Did I miss something? It's funny what comes up in our minds when someone's silent. Yes. uh, I feel like I want to turn the noise canceling off just so you can hear the rain for a moment. Can you hear that? The birds and the rain and the breeze, the sounds of life. Let's drop in I invite you to find a space with your body where you're able to be still, to close the eyes. If it feels good for your system, start to breathe more deeply. Let's bring the awareness to the top of the head and start to imagine that the whole scalp is relaxing. You might feel that the forehead starts to spread as the muscles soften. Allow a space between the teeth, the lips. Allow the jaw to hang a little. If we find ourselves with a clenched jaw, often it can be an indicator that we are living in fear and a need for safety that will often show up as control in our behaviors. So we can just lovingly soften the jaw. You may even wish to take your hand and hold your jaw, hold your cheek, offering this sense of comfort through your hand, even saying to your body, it's okay. You're safe right now. It's okay. Allow this softening to move down into the throat. Let's take a few breaths in and out of the mouth. So we're starting to open this space of the throat that is not only a physical space, but very much an emotional and energetic space. So we breathe in and out. A few breaths like this in and out of the mouth. And this softening moves into the shoulders, down the arms, all the way to the tips of the fingers and thumbs. From the throat, there's a sense of ease with the breath that moves into the space of the heart, the energetic heart, and also the physical heart. As you breathe, really feel your chest, your whole rib cage expanding and relaxing with the breath. And this sense of expansion and relaxing is also in the belly with each breath. Allow any sense of softening that feels okay for you to start to be felt in the belly, also in the back. Feel a heaviness, maybe a sense of relaxation through the hips, the glutes, the pelvis, all the way down through the legs into the feet. This body is such a gift. No matter what we do to the body, how we treat it, how we speak to it, what we feed it, what we don't feed it, how much we move it or don't move it, whatever we do to this body, it just keeps giving to us in the best way that it can. Your exquisite heart keeps beating for you every moment of every day, even while you sleep. The processes of the body, of the different organs, just giving and giving and giving for you, for your life experience, giving and giving. And even if you are navigating pain, illness, dis-ease, the body is still doing its best. Even if it feels like it's not what we want it to do, it is still doing its best. When was the last time you had compassion for the body rather than wanting it to be different than it is or judging it or pushing it? When was the last time you felt compassion for this precious body consciousness? You may even wish to hold your body right now, maybe by placing a hand on the heart and a hand on the belly or any place that feels comforting, nurturing. Just hold this beloved body and sense, even if you feel resentful toward the body right now or like you've been betrayed by your body, can you take a breath and sense that this body is still doing its best, that it is giving to you in the best way it knows how? Offer your gratitude to this body, this body that allows you to have a human experience, this body that allows you to listen to your favorite music or the sounds of the rain or the ocean or the birds, maybe to look into the eyes or see the faces of the people you love, to see the beauty of this world. This body that allows you to taste your favorite foods, smell your favorite flowers or incense or things that delight you. This body that allows you to touch, to hold, to sense life, to feel the people you love, to feel yourself, this body that gives you an opportunity to have an experience of the self, of you. Yes, we take birth in these human bodies, get into an experience, have an experience of ourself and another. You and I are one, yet we have an experience of being separate. So there is an experience of the other, of the self through the other. And it is also an experience of the self through this body, an experience of knowing you, of tasting you, of feeling you because of this precious body. And you offer gratitude to this body. And now I invite you to pour your love, to pour the light that you are into every cell of this body. And you may even wish to imagine that there is a light from above you, as if there is a magnificent sun in the cosmos that is connected to you. Imagine that there is a light above you that's cascading down like this pillar of light in through your crown, pouring this beautiful liquid light into your entire physical body. Use your intention now, or your thoughts, visualization, your imagination to see, to feel every cell of the body being filled with this light, this cosmic light, this light of love. Imagine or feel the joy of the cells to receive your loving attention, to receive this light. Each cell becomes brighter with this light that is full of vitality and vibrancy, health. See your cells, feel your cells vibrating, pulsating with this life force that fills the entire cell, bringing each cell, trillions and trillions of cells, into perfect health and alignment, perfect harmony. What is health? Harmony in the cells. And you can also activate your DNA if you wish. This light that is in your DNA completely turned on, so bright and vibrant. And if you work with the quantum DNA, you can also release the quantum DNA, activate the quantum DNA, remembering I am one with all of life. I am source consciousness. I am that I am. Offer gratitude to your cells, your DNA, to particles and molecules, electrons, every particle of this physical body. Offer your love and gratitude. See this light shining bright within you and expanding beyond the physical body into the subtle bodies or the aura, the energetic bodies around the physicality. Layers of these energetic bodies exist: the etheric body, emotional, mental, causal, spiritual, and they go on. Imagine the whole space around your body, far beyond your body, filled with this light, this vibrancy, this life force pulsating in the fullness, the wholeness of your being. And say to yourself, I am light. I am light. I am light. And as you repeat it, either silently or out loud, bring passion into the repetition. Bring your love, bring your gratitude, bring your longing for remembrance, your longing for freedom, your longing for peace. Bring this passion into the repetition. I am light. I am light. I am light. Remember who you are. Remember. I am light. I am light. Be here for a few more moments. Continue to repeat this from your heart, from this longing to remember the light you are. Let it awaken within you. I am light. You are light. You are source. You are one with all of life. Whatever words you wish to use here, you are a being of infinite, eternal nature. Remember. And now relax the mind, relax the body, soften, deepen into this sense of ease in the body as much as it is allowed in this moment for you, from you. Can you feel the beauty of you? Can you feel the magnificence of you? Even if you can't feel it fully, can you sense even a taste, a speck of the knowingness of the light you are, the majesty of your being? You are not your emotions or your thoughts that are always changing. These are just experiences that we take personally, that we believe are who we are. But you know how we know that they are not who we are? Because they're constantly changing, they are temporary. You are the one having an experience of all of these feelings and thoughts, sensations. You are the one who is watching. You are not the changing experiences of life. They come and they go. You are the glory of life. Imagine a planet where each of us is in the remembrance that we are light, that we are all connected, that we are one. Imagine a transformed planet when there is no longer the need to create the drama of separation. What if you could look into the eyes of every human and say, I see myself in you. I see God, Source, Allah, Buddha, Muhammad. I see the light in you, and it is the same light in me. If you can, slowly bring your hands to your heart center, palms touch in this expression of gratitude, devotion, reverence, and offer a bow to your body, to yourself, to your light, to life, to each other. Release the hands. You may wish to just sit here in silence for a few minutes. We'll stay here in this silence for just a few moments. I do invite you to be here for as long as you wish, though. Start to deepen the breath. Slowly move the body in any way that feels nourishing. If your eyes are closed, slowly open the eyes. How are you? How's your being? If you're not on Insight Timer, I can't see your comments, so I do warmly welcome you to join on the free Insight Timer app. Mm. Rihanna's asking, how are you? And I'm curious, when you see my face and you see my eyes and maybe even feel my presence, what do you feel? Oh, great, Nick. Welcome. Yes, warm welcome to all and to those who are here for the first time. Emma shares wonderful, Selena. And Nick shares so beautiful. Millie shares, I'm floating in happiness and love. Emma shares calm, grounded, eternal. Bardia shares pure bliss. Rihanna shares, I can feel your pain in the human plane that is and fully recognize the presence of your soul. That's something sweet to reflect on. I'm not feeling any pain right now. Vita shares feeling sad. Yeah. Or maybe Vita's sharing that she thinks I feel sad. Yeah. There has been some, and not, I don't know if I would name it pain because um, it feels, it has a more tender quality. I'm inside of some really, really tender inner work these days. And it's really, today I feel much more clear, although the last couple of days, it, was very up, very, very up. And just all of this deep vulnerability has been coming up. And um, I've been watching like the old patterns of wanting to protect and not have to feel that deep vulnerability. So it's been like this journey of kind of like opening, and at the same time of the opening there's that old, wanting to protect. So that dance. Thank you for sharing. Ah, lovely. Maria asks, how can we see the love and light in others that have done us wrong? Mm. Maria, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. How can we see the love and light in others that have done us wrong? And here's a question for you in your exploration here, if you choose to share your response. Um, have you ever done someone wrong? Have you ever hurt someone accidentally or intentionally? Have you ever made a mistake that caused someone pain? Have you ever been in so much pain yourself that you brought an experience of pain in another's experience? Okay. And I think that everyone here can probably say yes to that, unless you're a bodhisattva whose path is that you're not here to trigger anyone and you've never done that. We all have. We all have. Yes. So, so in that, just doing a little work with some energy for a moment, friends. Be right back. Okay. So we have all hurt people, and people have hurt us. Maria, do you remember that really precious story that I shared? The little soul in the sun? Do you remember that one? It's a book. That's right. I first Yeah, okay. Well, for I guess I'll share it just in case because we're all in this together right now, right? It's not just many can relate to what you're sharing, Maria. So thank you again for bringing something vulnerable to the table. So this precious story, I first came across it as a child. It was a book, and it's a story about this soul who's in the place where all the souls are. And the soul goes to God and says, God or source, whomever, the higher power, right? Who is the self? I really want to know what it feels like to forgive. And God says, well, little soul, to know what it's like to forgive, you have to have someone to forgive. And so the little soul says, okay, I'll go find someone to forgive. So little soul walks around this place where all the souls are and says, excuse me, will you be the one to help me learn forgiveness? And the soul says, oh, no, no, I couldn't do that. Little soul goes on to another soul, excuse me, would you be the one to help me learn forgiveness? Oh, no, I couldn't do that, little soul. And again and again and again, this little soul is going around asking soul after soul, would you be the one to help me experience forgiveness? And each one says no. And then finally, this little soul comes across another soul and says, excuse me, would you be the one to help me learn forgiveness? And the other soul says, You know what, little soul? I love you so much that I will be the one to help you experience forgiveness. Just remember that when we're on earth and I have hurt you, you won't remember that it's me, the one who loves you so much, who has hurt you. So this beautiful, precious story, for some, it touches something deep inside, a deep remembrance. For others, it's triggering, and we feel like that's a total BS story. So, however you feel about it, I honor you in that and invite you to have whatever belief you choose. I'm not here to say that anyone ever needs to agree with anything that I say here. And we live in a world of infinite possibility where everything exists anyway. So, Maria, my love, hearing that story again, when we're inside of this conversation of how to see the light in others who have hurt you, recognizing that we've also hurt people, hearing this story, I'd love to hear the wisdom that's coming through for you. Oh, that's kind, Rihanna. Thank you. No problem. Feel free to reach out. You can send me a message. And you can also find the story. It's called Little Soul in the Sun. In the Sun, yeah. So precious. Ah, and such a great question, Maria, because that's how so many of us feel, right? So many of us feel such deep pain where we've closed our hearts to someone that we can't imagine ever being able to see goodness or the light in them. And you're sharing here, Maria shares, makes me feel forgiveness. Oh, I can't even get through the sentence. Makes me feel forgiveness for them and for myself for the ones I have hurt. That's the beauty. We're on a planet of enlightened beings, every single one of us, an enlightened being cloaked in forgetfulness. So look at this, my love. All the wisdom that each of us longs to know, it's inside. The gem is inside, the diamond is inside. Maria came with a question, and through being with herself, found the wisdom right there. How does that feel, my love, to be able to consider or lean into this possibility of forgiveness for yourself and others? Mm. Alice is sharing, I've also learned to forgive myself for having the resentment or having the judgment. Forgiveness is so freeing. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Because what so many of us do, right? We have an experience of feeling hurt. And then we feel resentful. And then we judge ourselves for feeling resentful. Yes, it becomes the whole cycle that we get into. Oh, this play. I had a really beautiful moment with a beloved in a one-on-one session earlier. And we were working with the energy of unworthiness, which, is kind of at the core for so many humans. It's kind of like what we come into, one of the big things we come in to work out, this illusion of unworthiness, which feels very real, right? So we were working with this energy of unworthiness, and I invited them, and I what I want to say here is that when they brought up the energy of unworthiness, the way I related to their experience was this sense of like, here is this mountain of unworthiness. Like, here is a lifetime of unworthiness that I will never be able to get through and heal. Like that's the way it occurred to them. And that's the way it occurs to most of us, whether we're navigating depression or anxiety or guilt or some energy. So often it just feels so huge, it feels insurmountable. So we were working with this energy of forgiveness, and I just gave them a very simple step by step process to be more loving with themselves. So simple. Didn't take a long time. It wasn't some deep, complex revisiting of everything that's ever happened. Something so precious, a precious way of being with themselves. And they went from that feeling of this insurmountable experience, mountain, this heaviness of unworthiness, to feeling tender and loving with themselves, feeling more peace, feeling contentment. Their whole being changed. It was like the contracted energy of believing something, believing the thought I'm unworthy, and then having all of the emotional experiences and the physiological experiences triggered. And, where's the chicken or the egg? Who knows where it starts here? But they're having this contracted experience. And then by simply offering themselves loving acknowledgement, it was like they came back into alignment, embodying the light that they are. We didn't talk about light or spirit or God or anything. We just worked with being kind, loving, and acknowledging toward themselves. And their whole being shifted. So simple. Maria is sharing what has helped is looking at them not in their adult form. Yeah, we've done this. Not in their adult form, but in their child form. And that helps me forgive them without judging their grown ass hurting me. Yeah. Yeah. And, it's like the Byron Katie work. For anyone who hasn't explored Byron Katie's work, I highly, highly recommend Byron Katie's work. There's a simplicity to it and a profundity to it that many of our minds can't even grasp at first because we're so used to creating so much drama in our minds and having this big problem to solve and so many things to analyze. And I don't mean to downplay the intensity of what we experience. It's also related to things in the body and trauma in the body. It's a whole picture here. But our minds are often creating a much bigger story than something is. So to have tools that can help us uh, get to the heart of things is such a gift. And one thing that like the heart of Byron Katie's teaching is for us to really question our thoughts rather than just believing our thoughts that cause rise to emotions and behaviors and beliefs and meanings and all of that, to question the thoughts. So, something in those teachings, Maria, as I'm reading your share here, is the practice of turning things around. What has helped me is looking at myself in my childlike form, and it helps me forgive myself without judging my grown ass for hurting them or hurting me, right? So powerful. Thank you for sharing that, love. Thanks for always being such like for just showing up with your openness. Shady is asking how to accept the emotional pain. Ah, yes. This is such important work, love. Thanks for asking. I have a meditation here on the app called Self Soothe Emotional Healing, maybe. In this moment, I mean, I share this meditation all the time, and this moment, my brain is just kind of off. It's not off. My brain is on. It's too on to remember something. Self soothe emotional healing, and this is a great guided experience for how to be with emotional pain. The reason I'm sharing that is because we could really speak this entire session on this topic because it's so important and so nuanced and so deep. So I would just invite you to listen to that track. It's a free track. And something that has really helped me a lot in my life. It doesn't apply to every situation because sometimes there's other information or growth that's needed. However, it has helped me tremendously. And it is this teaching that says, feel the feelings, let go of the story. Feel the feelings, let go of the story. Because what happens for so many of us is we think we're just feeling our emotions. But what's really happening is we're only like sticking our foot in the water rather than submerging our whole bodies. We're like sticking our toe or our foot in the water of feeling emotion and then mental masturbating. We're thinking about the thing that happened and why it happened and how it shouldn't have happened and what they did and how they hurt us and what we're afraid of and what we don't like. And we're caught here rather than actually going into the emotion and feeling so we can free ourselves. We're caught in the mind and we're caught in this interplay between the pain of the emotion and the mind and not letting it move through us. I posted a video on Instagram the other day about this. It was an intro from a meditation I had led. And it's this analogy that I love to use in relationship to our emotions. And if we think about a river flowing, and like a tree trunk falling in that river, it causes stagnancy in the river, right? The water is rushing up against something, so it causes stagnancy. It causes a pressure, right, where the water's trying to push through the tree, so there's an internal pressure. There's stagnancy. Things aren't moving, right? It can cause all sorts of issues, blockages in the river. And yet, if we remove that tree, the river flows freely. So it's like this with our emotions. Emotions are naturally flowing. They're a natural part of life. There are no bad emotions. There are no good emotions. They're all experience. Although we do label them as good and bad, pleasant and unpleasant because we have that experience, right? So the emotion is like a river, but we say, "Oh, I don't want to feel that. I shouldn't feel that. This is bad. I don't like this." And so we cause that blockage. Yes. So finding ways to really allow ourselves to feel that emotion so it can move through. And one of the ways we can practice that is by this technique of dropping, feeling the feelings, really going into the body, feeling the feelings, and letting go of the story that's perpetuating this ongoing suffering. So that's all for now on that. Thank you for asking. Great question. Okay, we're coming to Gary's comment and then we'll come to a close for today. My dearest Gary, what have you shared? Selena, I have issues with my mom and her husband, who is utterly amazing in not a good way. She now has dementia. Uh-huh. She now has dementia and he is doing bad things. How can I keep these emotions away from me? Okay, my love. So let me just make sure that I'm understanding correctly. So your mother, so it sounds like you have judgments toward both your mom and her husband. And it sounds like he is not treating her well. And maybe you're upset with her because she's allowing whatever she's allowing as much as she's cognitively present. So there is this judgment and these other emotions that are there for you around it. So, one thing that you might do, love, is get in touch with the emotions that are underneath the judgment. Maybe you find that you feel really angry at her husband for treating her that way, or you feel angry at your mom for choosing to be with someone who's like that. And maybe underneath that, you notice that you feel afraid. You feel afraid for her well being. You feel afraid of what it means to have him in your world. You might just go in and just get in touch with what's really there because, as you know, we've been together for a long time. My way is not the way of getting rid of emotion, getting away from emotion. It's learning from it, it's allowing it to move through us. It's okay. Okay, thank you for clarifying. So you're saying no, she heaps all her stuff on me. So maybe she's venting to you, or maybe she's putting responsibility on you that you don't want on you. Feel free to clarify, my love, because this is a deeper topic. I just want to make sure I'm understanding you so that I can share what I feel might be most valuable for me to share with you. Okay, I hear that. So there's nothing you can legally do to help her. So I'm not fully understanding the situation, and it's also an intimate situation, vulnerable situation to be sharing in our community platform. So I also understand if you'd rather not just go there. So here's what I would invite. I'm just going to give you a general response of how you might work with this. Um, One, again, is to just get in touch with what's really going on for you. Because there's stuff going on for you. If we take away the outside world, meaning what you're navigating, if we take away whatever your mom's doing, heaping stuff on you, or whatever's happening with her situation with her husband, if you take all of that away, you're having a response inside. And this is important for us to understand and for us to at least tend to, if not understand. So I would take the time to go inside and find out what you really feel. And maybe you want to journal on this. It can be helpful, right? To really get your thoughts on paper and really understand yourself more. So get clear about what you feel. And then it sounds like there may also be an opportunity here to practice healthy boundaries, which is, of course, very difficult for many of us to uphold boundaries with family members because we have so much conditioning about if you really loved me, you would do this. A nice person does this. If you really care about someone, you do this. Most of it's bullshit. Excuse my language, right? A lot of outdated conditioning that's rooted in our need to be accepted, to feel like we're going to be safe and survive in the world, rooted in our biology that says when I'm part of the pack, I have a place. Therefore, the saber-toothed tiger doesn't eat me. Yes, of course, it's not this simple now, but many of us are still living in these generational patterns that say, be this kind of a person so you can be accepted, so you can be loved, so you can be safe. But many of them are outdated, and we end up dishonoring ourselves, overstepping our own boundaries, because that's where boundaries really exist. We end up not caring for ourselves because of these old behaviors. So get clear on what's really going on for you. Can you practice compassion for the parts of you that feel afraid, feel angry, feel hurt, feel abandoned? There's a little boy inside of there, my love, who probably needs some things he's not getting. So you might also want to do the inner child healing meditation I have. I don't know if you've done that one. It's a good one to revisit for all of us. Inner child healing. And then I would look at boundaries. How can I honor myself? How can I respect myself? How can I care for myself in this situation? And something else that's so it's one of the most challenging things and so important is to be curious about how you can practice acceptance. How can you practice acceptance of what is? Acceptance doesn't mean apathy. Acceptance doesn't mean we stop taking action. Acceptance means that we're doing the work inside of ourselves to be more at peace so that we can handle the challenges of life. That's beautiful, Susie. Thanks for sharing that. So that's what I would look at, love. Tending to your own emotions, being curious about what's going on for you, inner child healing, practice self compassion, getting clear on what your boundaries are and practice upholding them, and also um, uh, practicing acceptance. And then from that place where you're less where your emotions have been tended to, so there's less emotional reactivity. Maybe there's a little more acceptance. You're upholding your boundaries more, so you have more of a space for yourself. Then it becomes easier to look at the situation from a more clear place in the mind and say, what can I do here? What is possible for me to contribute goodness to this situation? We come from a more clear place in our minds. How does that feel? I see that a comment came in, but I'm not sure that we'll have enough time to address it. I'm just going to read it to see if we have enough time. I'll just read it and give a brief answer, brief share here. So Philippa is sharing, what about making major life choice that moves away from contacts and security? I feel incompetent in current role. I've been offered other position back where I come from. I feel self-doubt, flaky, loose, and loss of confidence in letting down my contract, and this wish to escape the next couple weeks. So fuzzy with what choice, feeling stuck. I hear that. Yes, we all know that experience of being in that place of making a decision. So here's one the first thing that pops up is get in alignment with yourself. When we're in this place of inability to make a decision, I actually started to have this I'm not I don't know that I'm set in stone in anything. Again, as I said, one of the perspectives or perceptions that I hold of this world is that anything can kind of exist here. I don't believe that there's one way for anything. Um, and I had this sense many years ago, indecisiveness, huge part of my personality. I've grown out of it mostly, and I'm so grateful because it caused a lot of suffering, a lot of wasted time, a lot of things. Years ago, I had this awareness when I'm in strong indecision, when I feel very confused, it's often because I know the answer and I don't want to accept it. Often, when I feel a lot of confusion, it's because I already know the answer and I don't want to accept it. It's not always that simple. Sometimes it's because of conflicting beliefs. I believe I'll be happier if I go back to where I come from, but I believe I'll be doing something wrong or bad if I leave. So it's an opportunity to look at your beliefs, look at your conflicting beliefs, get clear on what serves you best. If you take away everyone else's judgment and you said, what if I just did this in service to my soul? What would the answer be? That's a good one, right? If you just pretended that there was no one else in the picture who would judge you or think you were wrong or think you were bad, and you just said, what is most in service to my soul? What would that be? A lot of opportunity for curiosity. All right, my loves, it is time for us to complete today. I'm glad, Glary. Get Gary. Thank you all. Thanks for showing up. Thank you for being. Thank you for sharing. I'm so grateful. As a reminder, if you're not already tuned in, my beloved parents lead live sessions here on the app every week. You can find Sandy Magram and Jonas Magrum. They're both here on the app. They're both so beautiful and have so much wisdom, so much life experience, so much goodness, and so much love. And yeah, check out their lives, check out their profiles. Oh, that's great, Emma. Wonderful. Love you so much, Julia. Yes, Philippa. Aren't they magical? I'm so blessed. Oh, that's awesome, Christine. Love it. That's so great. I love it. It's so beautiful. What a gift. Oh, thank you. Thank you, love. All right, my love. So it is time to complete for today. Hi, Jane. We'll be together again next week, 6 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. And thank you for your donations, friends. Yeah, thank you, Rihanna. Yeah, feel free. Send me a message. I'm not able to message you, so send me a message and I'll respond. Um, so much love, so much gratitude. And I think the last thing I want to say today is that there's a huge influx of energy happening right now on the planet, and things are really, really, really intense. I know we say that all the time. We're in a really intense moment. So much is coming to the surface. Things are happening in the body, uncomfortable things in the body, deep fatigue, so much. So be gentle, be kind, be mindful. Don't believe your thoughts, don't take them personally. Yes, just nourish yourself, keep aligning with yourself. Yes, yes. Love you. I'll see you soon. Thank you for being in my life. Susie, their names are Jonas Magrum and Sandy Magrum. I popped them in the chat. Jonas Magrum and Sandy Magrum. See you all soon.